Can we say legally?
So.
Sure. That got us into a better mood at least.
Yes, actually, you know what? Maybe we needed that. Hello.
Hey everybody, this is Hayden.
And this is Kristen.
And we are coming at you from the hangar for our last coffee of our very first year of the Passport program.
Huzzah!
Holy crap, it has been a crazy year, an amazing journey. We have flown all across the world with you guys. We're so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you for buying these coffees, whether you're a subscriber, a one-time purchaser, if you just got a pour over in the cafe.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. We have been very excited to be your pilots during this journey. Yeah, we're here to talk about the last installment of this first year, our coffee for April. We'll see you next month because we're not stopping this at all. We're gonna keep on doing this and we're gonna go to even more spots. There's a lot more countries that produce coffee and we're gonna check them all off our list. We think, hopefully, maybe, if we can. We'll see.
We're gonna do our best, absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
Damn straight we are.
Featuring John.
Yeah. So as we started off this program, if you guys remember, if you scroll back a little bit on the feed to our very first video, we actually started this program off with a coffee from Sumatra. As you know, well, if you don't know, I personally and all of us are really fans of coffees that stand out, obviously. And so whenever we can get a coffee from Indonesia or Southeast Asia that really shines a light on the stuff they produce, that's maybe a little bit nicer, a little bit different than what they usually associate their crops with, I'm all over it. So we started things off with an incredible coffee from Sumatra, and we're ending from another coffee from an Indonesian province. This one is Bali. Super excited about this one. We think it's a fantastic coffee by itself and a great way to finish this year.
Whenever we get anything from Sumatra, any part of Indonesia for that matter, just that region, that is your happy place.
That's nice.
It is burned into my brain. I was still on bar. You ran in when we got the oh crap, names.
Achikayo?
Yes.
Yeah,
you
that was like 2 years
booked it
ago.
in. You're like, Kristen, try this. I'm like, what happened? And yes, one of the things that we love about all the coffees that we showcase is it gives you another angle, another light, another perspective on coffees that can be featured elsewhere that, let's just put it at it's not the kindest light that they're shown in. Example being a lot of Sumatran coffees from Indonesia are featured in and are a very dark roast.
Can we say legally?
Maybe I'll leave it.
Actually, yes. Do yourself a kindness. Taste everything. Always taste everything. But that is not what Indonesian coffees can and should be. What we love about this coffee, and I need to actually remember how to pronounce it because, hey, it's another month of me not knowing how to pronounce our coffees. It's fine. Kintamani.
Kintamani. Bali Kintamani.
Yes.
That is named after the Kintamani highlands, which is pretty much the major region that Bali does most of its agriculture. Bali is a really cool coffee producing province in Indonesia. They've only been producing coffee for about 60 years, so overall these programs are relatively new, and they are run by what's called a Subak Abian. I do have a little post-it note here because I couldn't remember that word, Subak Abian. Subak Abian is essentially a co-op. So they're co-ops that oversee all sorts of agriculture, whether it's dry agriculture or wetland agriculture. And these are co-ops and groups that oversee how things are run, and they uphold a very conscious harmony between nature, humanity, as well as their religious practices. So it's a very holistic approach towards agriculture in general. They have banned insecticides across the entire province, and all their fertilizers must be organic. So just knowing that from right off the bat, we just know that they approach coffee from a super cool mindset. This was crafted and grown with a lot of intention.
Crap, we're doing great.
We're doing something.
Oh yeah, that's certainly a word for it.
It's been a long day, it's been a long week, it's been a long year. A fun year, but it's been a long one. It's been fun in a lot of ways.
It's been 3 months, Hayden.
We actually filmed all these videos in 1 week. That would make a lot of sense,
We
honestly.
just have a wardrobe. This is actually all.
I just dyed my hair like 10 times in a week. It's fine.
Yeah.
All
We
set.
circled back.
We create the season.
Pretty much. It would make a lot of sense.
To be fair. Anyway, one of the things that we really loved about this coffee, just instantaneously, we got a lot of notes that were. There have been a few times where we've tasted coffees on the cupping table, just samples, us trying to get a footing of what we're going to do next. We don't think we just go that. And I was so anxious until you pulled the trigger on this. I was like, did you get it yet? Did you get it yet? Did you get it yet?
We do have a warehouse, but we do have a limited space in this warehouse to use conveniently. And so we didn't, I was waiting for a good price and a good timing to buy the coffee. So we were, as soon as I saw it available, this coffee usually comes and goes pretty quickly. Bali doesn't produce a crazy amount of coffee, and their high quality coffee goes even faster than the rest of their stuff. So yeah, I was monitoring inventories pretty much like twice a day to make sure that we would be able to snag a couple bags of this.
What we loved so much about this, though, was the unique tasting notes, because these are tasting notes that you would get more. I feel like they're more typical in a co-ferment, which that's great. But when you can find notes like this in a coffee where it's just the elevation, all the surrounding lands, just everything that's completely natural about it, that's a big deal. And we love to see that. This is a natural process coffee. So it, again, is fermented in the cherry on patio, drying patios. And it, again, creates that very distinct punchy flavor that naturals tend to have versus a cleaner cup that you might find in like a washed. This was another one that we had a lot of iterations of because, again, sample roasts and dialing in sample roasts and finding three distinct profiles, liking every single one and going, okay, hold on. So what do we do for tasting notes?
Yeah, not only is it a unique coffee, it's like very versatile from like our perspective. We could probably roast this like 4 or 5 different ways and each profile would really taste fantastic, which kind of makes our lives easier because if we screw up, it's still delicious.
Just may not be what matches on the bag, which is that therein lies the problem. And it's always a very, very thin line to walk of, hey, this is what we taste on the cupping table. Let's try and match that on the big roaster.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting game of roulette.
Yeah.
We won.
But yeah, thankfully we did do a batch roast and everything came out really good. And we're gonna taste it now and confirm that. There you go, thank you.
Yes. Again, 'tis my job. I've been shoving hot beverages in your general direction for 4 years.
It's been a while.
Yep.
It's really good.
Yes.
So, being coffee from Indonesia, it does have a very rich body, but it's not nearly what you associate with a lot of Indonesian or Sumatran coffees that tend to have a very heavy, dirty, earthy body. Not smoky, I wouldn't even really call it earthy. Very rich though, and just very pronounced. What we love about this so much is that with that body, there is some really incredible acidity that you just wouldn't expect from a coffee of this richness or of this origin.
One of the first tasting notes, again, the order in which we have them, a lot of places, for the record, will have tasting notes in the order that they come up, kind of in the same way that you have notes on a scent. But this one, again, it changes very much, but we'll start with how we have it. So the first one, which is what made this so unique, was watermelon. Like really lovely, juicy watermelon. We did argue on that point a lot because there's a few different types and yeah, but we settled on a nice, farm stand pink watermelon.
It's a very pink coffee, very sweet, very like sugary, but in a fruity sense. And it's just really nice. It's really sweet. It's really bright.
I cannot wait
juicy.
to have this on iced. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thankfully, hopefully this weather holds out and is still being nice for the rest of the month because this will probably do really well iced as a flash brew. So ask your barista about that.
I believe it will.
After that watermelon starts out though, that body comes right in. It's a super pleasant dark chocolate note, just carrying it through. Super rich, super, I was gonna say heavy, but it's not heavy.
It's smooth. Yeah. There's a very, whenever we talk about chocolates, again, me being the nerd, I can identify how the perfectly tempered chocolate feels, and I'm just like, no, this is a perfect, it's smooth.
Yeah.
The body's there, but it just, it's delightful.
It gets everywhere. Yeah. And then finally, the last note that we were struggling with a lot because it's not really a crazy floral coffee. There's still some of the fruit, some of the stuff that's going on. We finally settled on bramble, which was one of those things that I'd always associated with certain things like raspberry or blackberry, but I actually had to Google what is a bramble? Is it bramble? Is it a pastry? Is it baked good? A bramble is actually just any thorny fruit producing bush. So if you think of raspberries, blackberries, any type of berry that you associate with that, that's a lot what we're getting. More of that fruitiness, more of that sweetness, some brightness and acidity. It's just refreshing. It's super nice. So we settled on that guy.
Moving forward with the Passport program, if you have a subscription with us, it's not going to change. It's going to roll over, and we have some fun new things on the horizon. We actually just got some new samples in, and I have my fingers crossed for them because seriously,
they look good on paper, and we're hoping that they're really good in the cup too. We'll find out. But we're not telling you any of those yet. You have to stick around. So we'll be back next month to kick off our new year. We already have a coffee picked out for that one that we're also very, very excited about. So yeah, tune in 30 or so days, and we'll talk to you then.
So from our nerdy hearts to your cups, enjoy.
Have a good one.